Students, we are here with a new topic, fractional distillation and chromatography method. Today we will discuss these two methods of separation of constituents. So let's start a video with the fractional distillation method. So fractional distillation in this method is used to separate the constituents of miscible liquid mixture. Miscible means which can't be separated out easily. For example, mixture of acetone and water, mixture of alcohol and water, etc. So now just think how we can separate alcohol and water. If we normally want to separate them, it is impossible for us to separate them. So to separate them, we need special kind of setup called fractional distillation. Clear, students? So let's learn about it. What is actually the fractional distillation method? So to learn this method, firstly we have to learn about the parts or the instruments which are to be used in this method. So firstly we have a distillation flask in which the liquid is put, which is to be distilled. Then we have a fractionating column which contains glass beads which allow the vapors only which have attained their boiling point to pass through it. After passing from fractionating column, the vapors go to the condenser tube in which the cooled water runs and it converts the vapors into the droplets of water which runs into the required beaker. Hence the two are easily separated. So the difference in the boiling points is easy to help the separate the two miscible liquids. That is, boiling point is the main point of difference to separate the two liquids which are present in a mixture. So now we will discuss about how to separate alcohol and water mixture. So you all know that the mixture of alcohol, or in scientific term it is also known as ethanol, its boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius. So to separate them, we will put them into the distillation flask and start heating it. When the temperature is 78 degrees Celsius, you see the vapors of alcohols comes from the fractionating column and move to the condenser pipe and then goes to the beaker after becoming the droplets of liquid. Is it clear? So we will continue heating, and when the temperature goes to 100 degrees Celsius, we all know water will start boiling and goes into the beaker. So we will place another beaker after collecting all the ethanol, because whole ethanol is connected at 78 degree, and after that we will change the beaker and we will get the water in it at a temperature of 100 degree Celsius. So now we will discuss about separation of atmospheric air. So atmospheric air, you all know, in Earth's atmosphere it consists of nitrogen, oxygen, argon and other traces of gases including water vapors and some noble gases. So scientists can extract trace gases from air by using filters or cooling the air at high pressures. So now we will learn how to separate the components of the air by cooling them. Clear? So let's learn how separation of gases by fractional distillation works. So you see, we need a special unit for this, which is known as oxygen or nitrogen generator. Since its purpose is to extract one or both of these elements from the air, so in distillation process air is first passed through a filter which absorbs all the water vapors. Then the cooling process begins, which use turbines and high energy refrigeration systems. Carbon dioxide and other gases settle out when temperature reaches each of their sublimation or boiling points. When the temperature goes high, these gases settle down. Sublimation describes the change of state directly from solid to gas. So now when temperature reaches minus 200, the liquefied mixtures reach to a bottom at minus 185 degree, and then oxygen, which is liquefied at minus 183 degrees Celsius, it flows out through the test tube. Then nitrogen, which is firstly formed at temperature of minus 180 degrees 6 degrees Celsius, flows out through the tube connected to the top of the flask. So now you will see in this diagram what it is saying. It simply concludes that the air which is present in atmosphere is firstly compressed and cooled by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. Then it forms liquid air which is allowed to warm up slowly in the fractional distillation column. It is put in a special fractional column made for it. Now the gases will get separated at different heights. So the height of fractionating column is very large. The gases get separated at different heights, and we will see the boiling point of oxygen is minus 183, argon is minus 186, and nitrogen is minus 196. So is it clear to you all, students? So next we will discuss about the paper chromatography. Now this method is used to separate the colored constituents of a mixture. For separation of colored constituents of mixture, we use paper chromatography technique, in which the constituents are separated using a filter paper strip, which helps in separating and identifying the components present in the homogeneous mixture even in small amount. So you will see in the diagram that a line is placed on which an ink spot is made. So when it is placed in the beaker, just the level which is of water which is just below the ink spot will make the constituents present in the ink rise upwards. So it also helps us to check the purity of a given sample. Now let's discuss how it works. So a drop of mixture solution is spotted near one end of the paper and then dried. The end of the paper nearest to the spot is then dipped into the solvent without submerging the spot itself. So we will see by capillary action the constituents of the ink start moving upwards, and we will see that how many colors are used to make the particular ink droplet. Clear, students? So after time the paper is taken out and dried, the substances can be seen at once if colored or located by treating with the suitable locating agent. So it uses propellers, that is solvent. This carries all the solute and solubility. It is a propelling force. Now you will see how the capillary action works, how it is formed. It is a propelling force which tends to displace a substance from the paper and to keep it moving with the solvent. So the more the soluble a substance in the solvent, more rapidly it will move along the paper. That is, the solubility is directly proportional to the speed in the paper. So solvents are chosen for the greatest differential solubilities of the substances concerned. So we all are here now covered up with the two topics, fractional distillation and chromatography technique. So in the next video we will discuss about our next methods and physical and chemical changes. So all for today. Thank you. Thanks for paying attention.